Good morning and welcome to another edition of Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swenson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. On the program this morning, we will be talking to Jack Sovern. He is a 16-year-old junior at Decorah High School. He has created an initiative for laptops without borders, and he'll tell us all about that here in the not too distant future. We'll talk to Trevor Thomas from the Decorah Police Department. April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month, so Trevor will inform us on that issue. But some positive news getting made on the progress of reopening the Black Hawk Bridge between Lansing and DeSoto. We'll kick off the program with a conversation with Clayton Burke from the Iowa DOT to give us the latest on that front. He will be our first guest on Our Town. It's brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust, and you're listening to it on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. Getting an update on the Black Hawk Bridge between Lansing and DeSoto with Clayton Burke from the Iowa DOT, and some positive updates and some things moving in the right direction regarding the bridge right now. Clayton, give us an update.
Hey, Darren, thanks for having me. So, to date, our contractor has made a lot of progress on the emergency repair of the existing bridge. So, we had two piers that we had to replace. Both of those piers have been reconstructed and are ready for the bridge to be reset on top of them. And actually, today, I just looked out the window. We've got two out of the four bridge spans, the bridge deck that has to be replaced. Those are now reset on top of those piers that have been reconstructed.
And how long of a process has it been to get to this point? And has the weather as of late helped out that process?
Yeah, so we started about February 26th. So it's been a little over a month, and the weather has helped immensely. We've had very few weather days, and even if it has been raining or drizzling, the contractors' crews have really been tough, and they've been out there in some of that nasty weather, continuing to progress on the bridge.
And what's the next step beyond the process as you talk about the piers getting put back into place this week? What's the next step in the process that as you try to work towards getting this thing back open now later this month?
Yeah, so the contractor has two more of those bridge spans to set back in place. And then after that's complete, they have a bunch of touch-up work to do. So there'll be, final tightening of the bolts that hold the bridge together, and making sure that all the anchor rods and different pieces of that bridge are put in exactly the right place and have the right, that they're put back correctly. And then after the contractor is done with the repair work, we'll have an expert structural engineer come out and do a standard structural review of the bridge and a structural inspection. And once that structural inspection is complete and that expert has signed off that the bridge is safe to reopen, we will proceed with reopening it.
So, reading between the lines here, you might, for those that are just walking by or in the area there in Lansing, you might see all the spans put back into place a little, and then there will be a little bit of time before the bridge gets back open, knowing the fact that you got to, for lack of a better term, dot the I's and cross the T's after that point. Is that kind of how it will work from that point on?
Right, Darren. That's an excellent observation. So yeah, there will be a period of time where it looks like the bridge is completely back and ready to open. But yeah, again, the contractor will be making sure that the contractor and our structural engineer will be making sure that that bridge is absolutely safe before we let any vehicles back on it.
In this reconstruction process, for lack of a better term, on the current bridge, has that slowed down any progress on the work that is being done on the new bridge?
So it did. There was a period of time after the movement where we had to stop progress on the new bridge and figure out what was really going on. And that, that set us back, maybe a week or two. But after we got our feet back under us, we knew what was going on, and we were able to start working on the repairs of the existing bridge. That allowed us to keep moving on uh, building the new bridge. So just this week, we've completed one of the deep foundations for the pier that will be constructed on the Wisconsin side, and a lot of positive progress is being made on the new bridge as well.
So all things considered, that's not too bad. Only getting slowed down a week. That's my observation, of course, from the outside looking in. What's your expert observation?
Yeah, we never want to lose any time. If anything, we want to make up time. But um, all things considered, this could have been a much larger impact if we didn't have such a great team to work with us and really get those repairs going quickly.
And I'd imagine the water ferry is still a thing and will be a thing until you get that thing back open.
Yeah, the water ferry's been actually a really big success. It's we have our core users that are getting back and forth to work every day, and the water taxi crew knows them by name, and they've got a good relationship going with them. So, and then we've got a lot of recreational users too, going back and forth for shopping and different events on both sides. So there's a week, I guess the largest week I know of was about 530 trips or passengers going across. So quite a bit of use.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive total. Anything else folks need to know as long as we've got you on the horn this morning?
Yeah, I'm excited for the progress we're making on the repairs, and I'd also like to say I'm very invested in the project. So I read all the comments on our Facebook posts, and the community in the area has been just awesome. So there's been so many positive and encouraging comments, and it's great to see that people are happy with the progress they're seeing. So.
All right. All right, Clayton, we appreciate you taking some time to update us on the positive direction things are going, and probably talk to you one more time. And hopefully at that time, you can give us a date when the Blackhawk Bridge will get back up and running. Appreciate you taking the time once again.
Anytime. Always great to talk to you, Darren.
Clayton Burke from the Iowa DOT. Having a conversation this morning with Trevor Thomas. He is with the Decorah Police Department. The month of April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And Trevor, might seem like an obvious question to start out our conversation, but how big of an issue is distracted driving?
Distracted driving is a big issue. A lot of people, when we think about distracted driving, it's texting or talking on your phone. But really distracted driving is anything that's going to divert your attention away from the task at hand, which would be driving. That includes talking, texting on your phone, eating, drinking, adjusting your radio entertainment system in your vehicles, your navigation system. Anything that takes your attention away from the road is distracted driving. And that's what we're trying to raise awareness for this month, is to make sure people are paying attention to that, paying attention to the road, and staying safe.
And when it comes to accidents and injury accidents, fatal accidents, how many of those are directly related to distracted driving?
While I don't have the exact numbers on the distracted driving, some of it, I've got one number here from 2015 nationally. There were 551 non-occupant like pedestrians, bicyclists, and others that were killed in distracted driving accidents. That's not the driver. That's the driver, running into a pedestrian or something because they were on their phone. And that's why we're trying to raise this awareness this month on this, is just to alleviate vehicle on vehicle accidents, all accidents involving distracted driving, because it's a choice. It's a choice that people make. It's a choice that we can, choose to put our phones down, put them on silent, put them on. Some phones have the like driving setting that you can put your phone on to where it doesn't even notify you when a text message or something comes in. It notifies the sender that they're currently driving. They'll get back to you when they can. There's some phones that have that option.
And seemingly this is a simple thing for us to solve, but it's a heck of a lot easier said than done. How do we get over that barrier of it's okay to be disconnected and put your safety and other safeties first, and put that phone down for a while? Because we talk about kids doing this, but us adults aren't very good at it either.
Absolutely. It's not surprising that the younger drivers out there are the ones that are doing more of the texting and driving. But texting and driving has been around for a long time at this point, and it's the parents and the adults are also doing it. So what we're really asking is, we'd like parents of younger drivers or parents of younger individuals, we need to set the example to our younger generation of putting our phones down. We can be disconnected for a few minutes while we're driving, us and our family and all the other families that are traveling down the highway, and keep everybody's safety at the top of our priority list versus, trying to get that text message out or check that social media post.
And when it comes to the law related to distracted driving, is there anything currently on the book in the state of Iowa that could further charges or drivers could face if they are caught, shall we say, texting while driving, or any other issue related to distracted driving? Is there any laws that can be used to as a deterrent to stop this behavior?
Yeah, absolutely. So effective on July 1st, 2017, Iowa distracted driving law became a primary law, which means law enforcement officer can stop any driver who's texting or using any other portable electronic device, so we can make a traffic stop on a driver who's using a portable electronic device to text, read, write, or send messages. And then, there's fines that can come with that. Trying to look here. So drivers that are under the age of 18 can't use electronic devices entirely, which means they can't talk on their phones unless they're completely stopped and off the travel portion of the road. And that's another thing that I want to get across to people is, just because you're stopped at a red light or a stop sign doesn't mean you can pull your phone out and check that post or send that text message. If you are driving and you need to send a message out, pull off the travel portion of the road into a safe location, completely stop, and conduct the business that you need to do. Just at a red light isn't acceptable. That's still the travel portion of the road.
And maybe some people have the mindset of, if they're driving through town, maybe going 15, 20 miles an hour, it's not as big of a deal as if you're out on the highway going 55 or 60 miles an hour. Is that true at all?
No, not at all. So, in town, we have a lot more pedestrian, bicyclist, that kind of foot traffic around. 15, 20 mile an hour, traffic accident is still a significant event, still can cause serious injury or death. And that's what we're trying to avoid. The stats on driving down the highway, if you're looking at your phone, it takes about 4 or 5 seconds to send that message or make that post. At 55 miles an hour, that's like driving an entire football field with your eyes closed. That's the distance you will travel while looking at your phone. A lot can happen in that distance. Now, I know that's on the major highways, but you're still, in the city blocks, you're still driving a significant distance. And, it only takes a moment's time for somebody to jump out in front of you, or a bicyclist to come out in front of you and, cause an accident, and, could change your life or somebody else's life forever.
Based on what you're seeing, is this getting better or worse, the issue of distracted driving?
I would say it's definitely not improving. I think, as the longer that we've had this ability to text and drive and use portable electronics and drive, it's just more generations are learning how to drive. And those generations that started texting early on are still doing it. So we're getting more and more drivers out there because there's more and more people that are eligible to drive that are now familiar and fluent with electronic devices, cell phones and such.
Going back to the law that prohibits texting while driving in the state of Iowa, what type of a fine is that?
It can be a monetary fine. I'm not positive on the exact amount right now. I know, you know, with that driving law, I mean, if you are involved in a fatal accident where evidence is shown of reckless driving and you using your cell phone, that, you know, there's significant convictions. You know, it could be a felony conviction that could include up to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. And obviously those are things that we want to avoid, but texting and driving can be a serious problem, and it can seriously alter people's lives. And that's why we're trying to raise awareness of it and get the public to set the example for our younger generations to put the phones down and drive safe and keep our minds on the task at hand. And that is getting from point A to point B as safely as possible for you, your family, and everybody else that's out on the road.
Anything else we need to cover on this very important subject?
I don't think so. I know all of our local law enforcement agencies were out, and we're trying to raise awareness for these things. We all work together, and you know, our biggest goal is just get public awareness and get people to realize that it is a problem, and we can all work together to curb that problem and make it less of an issue.
All right, Trevor, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about this very important issue, and thank you for and everybody at the Decorah Police Department and all of our law enforcement officers for what you guys do to keep our community safe.
Thank you.
Trevor Thomas with the Decorah Police Department talking about Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Having a conversation this morning with Jack Sovern. He is a junior at Decorah High School, and he has created an initiative called Laptops Without Borders. And Jack, let's take us through this process from the original idea, how you came up with this, and how you put your idea into action.
Yeah, so I am 16 and I've always loved computers since, I don't know, 4 years old, I'd say. And my family knew this, and whenever somebody in my family, aunt, uncle, grandparent, got a new laptop, they gave me the old one. And I was just kind of looking at my stack of laptops that was accumulating, and I thought, like, what can I do that is helpful with these laptops instead of just having them sit in my closet? It's not doing anything any good. So I just was thinking, and I thought, I mean, like, who needs a laptop? And immigrants to this town came to mind. I mean, they've spent lots of money to get here, and a laptop is probably not first on their priority list, but it's something very useful. So I talked to my mom. She's got a friend named Margaret Betteridge who's on the Immigrant Working Group, which is a group that supports new immigrants to Decorah. And Margaret, pitched my idea to the board, and they were super excited. And then I kind of started, and now the work is mostly publicity. Yeah.
And when did you come up with this idea? When was the initial idea to put this Laptops Without Borders into a place, and how long have you been just collecting these laptops to provide to those that might not have that technology at the top of their priority list?
Yeah, so I believe February 28th was the day I thought of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we've just kind of, the first week or two was just kind of figuring out how it was going to work, writing some things up, and just kind of contacting people. And then kind of we started collection. I started refurbishing them, the laptops that I had received. And then we gave them out April 5th. So 2 days ago, three days ago.
Wow, that's a pretty quick idea into action end of things. Did you ever think it would do so much good in so little of a time from your initial idea to your first laptops being distributed?
No, not at all. I mean, I kind of had the idea, and I had no idea so many people would like reach out and give support, interviews for news. I had no idea any of that would happen. I just I don't know.
Well, it's definitely a great thing you're doing. How many laptops have you given out to this point, and how how would people donate to the cause if they want to help out?
Yeah, so we gave out 7 on August 5th, or sorry, not August 5th, April 5th. And I have, I believe, 5 more in storage ready to go. And then people can contact me at 563-419-1114 or at my email at decoralaptops@gmail.com. Both of those are great options, and I'll get back to you soon about the donation.
And I'd imagine in today's day and age, if a person is done with a laptop and they want to donate it to a cause, obviously there's a lot of personal information on those laptops. I'm assuming that you'll take care of that before it is handed off to somebody else, correct?
Yeah, of course. So the way I do it is I completely replace the hard drive in the laptop. So it's not even the person's old laptop hard drive. It's my own that's wiped. And then I'll keep theirs here for later disposal. I'll take them to a place that'll like fully dispose of the things. The hard drive.
All right, Jack. Anything we're missing? Anything else folks need to know about this interesting new cause and this great new idea that you recently came up with?
Yeah, I can't at this current time. I can't accept any Macs, any Macintosh, or any Apple products because they're too locked down, and I just can't really get what I need from them at this point.
All right, Jack. Again, just to remind the folks, if they've got a laptop sitting on the shelf collecting dust deep in the closet and want to donate it to a pretty good cause, how do they get a hold of you to do so?
Yeah, 563-419-1114. Decoralaptops@gmail.com. Those are my 2 main.
All right, Jack, we appreciate you taking some time. We applaud you for the initiative and the great idea that you just came up with a little over a month ago, and it's already doing some good in our community. We thank you for the time, and best of luck as you provide technology to others that need that technology in today's day and age. Thanks for taking the time, and congratulations on the good you're doing and the good you will continue to do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jack Sovern, he's a Decorah High School junior. Laptops Without Borders. Get a hold of Jack if you've got a laptop computer sitting around collecting dust. Hey, thank you to our guest on the program this morning, the engineer from the Iowa DOT, Clayton Burke, giving us an update on the Lansing Bridge project. Also, I want to thank Trevor Thomas from the Decorah Park, or rather the Decorah Police Department, I should say, as Trevor talked to us about Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And we also want to thank Jack Sovern. He is with a new initiative called Laptops Without Borders. He is a junior at Decorah High School, and great idea from that young man. And we appreciate him taking the time to tell us all about that. Don't forget, each and every week we put these shows on YouTube. We realize you're busy. Can't always be near a radio or near a smart speaker at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning, but we want to bring these shows to you on your schedule. Just if you're out on YouTube looking up funny Saturday Night Live clips from back in the day, or I don't know, anything. 411 Our Town program, that's a great way to look at that. And we also put the links on all of our LA Communication Facebook pages as well. It's one of the ways we try to stay in touch with our community is our number one job here when radio is done correctly. And we do that to the best of our ability here at LA Communications. Thank you to our guest. Thank you to our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. And most importantly, we thank you, that's right, you, for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.